Awesome. Looks like we are live. Just want to say hello real quick. Hope everybody is having a happy Tuesday if you're watching this live. And if you're watching a replay of this, I hope whatever day you're watching it on, at whatever time of day it has been an absolutely extraordinary day and even amazing more few moments leading up to this. And hopefully these next couple minutes that you and I are going to spend together can add a tremendous amount of value to your life. And you can walk away from this with some sort of tangible thought tool that you can use to really enhance your overall quality of life. I'm just going to share this really quickly on a couple pages. And if you want to do so, and feel free to invite any friends and family members to join us, you can definitely do that. And then we'll get started. So while we're doing that, I'm doing that, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're logging in from and what the temperature is wherever you are. Say hello where you're logging in from and what the temperature is where you are. Right now, I'm in Southern California, and it is about 75, 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Hey, Heather, good to see you on here. Holly, hello. Good to see you on here, Holly. Okay, let me make sure. I think I got this all shared up. And, yep, awesome. So I'll give everybody 30 more seconds to log in, and then we will, just a real quick poll. I want to see, do you all, this right now is about 3:45, 3:40 Pacific time. Do you prefer these live videos usually around 3 p.m. Pacific time or closer to 4 p.m. Pacific time? That seems to be the time that I can consistently block out. And I want to really try to keep dialing this in because I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback from all of you. So if this is a value, keep doing this on a regular basis. But if you have a preference, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Pacific time, be sure to put in the comments and let us know. It is still 103 degrees in Phoenix, Sandra. Wow. Good old Arizona never disappoints. Heather's 85, 87 in Castillo, Ohio. Andrew, good to see you on here. Let's see who else is on here. Rebecca, Holly, Jackie, Tiffany. Tiffany, how are you been? And he also in Arizona, 99. Wow, I can't believe how warm Arizona stays. Chelsea and Sam, good to see you all on here. I'll be back in Arizona, I think in early November. I have to be out there for a few days, so hopefully it's cooled off a little bit by then. 90s in Florida. Louisiana, 98. My gosh. Probably 98 with humidity too, huh? Okay, let's dive in today. I appreciate everybody sharing this. So I want to share with you a really quick story that I think might be what I hope will be a beneficial one for you to digest on. And so what I ask of you is, as you're listening to this story, hold space for the possibility of it, but also try to put yourself in the place of being two people in it. Number one, being the main character of the story, but number two, being the person on the other end that is the one who can really help the main character. Because I think this story is a wonderful illustration of, one, what's possible in terms of persistence and resilience, but number two, what's possible for all of us in terms of how we all have some sort of capacity, some sort of ability to really enhance someone else's life and maybe help them make their dreams come true, help them make something, what might have seemed impossible possible. This story is a true story, and I'm reading a book right now. And if anybody wants me to share the name of the book or the link to it, I'm happy to do so after we're done here. But I'm reading a book right now, and I think it's one of the best books I've read recently in terms of persistence, in terms of pursuing a dream, in terms of resilience, and just going above and beyond and thinking outside the box and really being committed to an outcome. Now, keep in mind, I'm only about halfway through this book, so there's a lot more story to be told. But I've been so impressed by it that I thought it might be something worth sharing with you all. So the book's a true story, and it's about the author, as the story starts, is 19 years old. He's 19 years old, and he is attending USC as a pre-med. Now, USC is a pretty prestigious school. The pre-med program is extremely hard. It is very rigorous, and it's pretty much carved out and planned out for you for a long time. His parents are Jewish. They fled Israel a number of years before, worked numerous jobs, saved, sacrificed so that he could go there because they believed that him becoming a doctor was going to be the thing that made all their sacrifice, all their hardships worthwhile. So you can imagine this kid, 19 years old, has the academic pressures, right, that some of us will endure, but he also has the familiar pressures, right, of he knowing that his parents sacrificed and gave up so much of their quality of life, so much of their enjoyment to give him a shot at a better life. And it's really steeply believed within the family that being a doctor would be this ultimate gateway out of poverty into the promised land. So much so that he even has an interaction with his grandmother or his mom who talks about that he has to be a doctor because if anything else goes bad, if other jobs go bad, there's always going to be a need for doctors. But he's 19 years old in his dorm room and he's wrestling around. He's not happy. He doesn't feel like he belongs. He doesn't feel like he fits in. He doesn't feel like that's really what he wants to do. It's not what's really on his heart. And he recognizes at 19 years old, he's kind of going through the emotions and following the path that his parents had laid out for him. So he starts questioning things. His curiosity pikes and he starts to explore what else could be possible. And somehow, some way, he stumbles upon the idea of what was it that the really successful people that he looked up to, admired, did to make them successful? What was it that Bill Gates and Steven Spielberg and those kinds of folks did early on that got them from where they were to where they wanted to be? What were they doing at 19 years old that helped them transform their life? He starts researching and realizes there's not a lot of information out there to saying it. So he comes up with this idea. He says, I should write a book on it, right? I should write a book. A lot of us have aspirations of writing a book. And he said, what I'll do is I will write this book and interview the most successful people in the world. And I will find out what they did at the early stages that got them to break through that initial plateau, that initial obstacle, and fast track them, if I could keep my microphone in place, fast track them on the path of success that we've all seen them on and become the people that we know them as being today. Well, only problem is great idea, right? But you have to find Steven Spielberg. You have to get connected with Bill Clinton. You have to get connected with Warren Buffett. These aren't just necessarily Bill Gates. These aren't necessarily people you're going to pick up the phone and just say, oh, hey, Bill, do you have time to grab lunch later today? 19 years old, doesn't have a lot of ins, doesn't have a lot of prospects. And he decides first and foremost, he says, I need money to try to make this happen. I need to get some capital to be able to go. But he's 19 years old. He's in school. He doesn't have available income. He comes up with this idea to go onto The Price is Right, kind of shine his finals on, go onto The Price is Right, and then win on The Price is Right and use the money that he wins on The Price is Right to fund his pursuit of this dream, his mission, as he called it. So instead of studying for a final, he stays up all night and studies on how to hack The Price is Right. He goes on these different boards, all these different discussion forums, figures out exactly what he needs to do to become an audience member, at least get called up onto the showcase, because he had never really seen a full episode before. He does that and he makes it up. And while he was waiting in line, he starts asking all these other people about what you need to do, how to play the different games. And he ends up going all the way to the showcase showdown, where it's just him and one other person who was a Price is Right regular and ringer. And he ends up beating her by like $40. And so his total showcase he wins is something like $30,000. And the big centerpiece of that was a sailboat. He takes the sailboat, sells it for $16,000 and a couple other things. And that becomes his seed money. No joke, true story, that he uses to fund this dream in pursuit of talking with these people. Now he's off and running. The only problem is he still doesn't know anybody. He still hasn't met anybody. He still has no connections. And so he starts emailing. He starts calling. He starts researching. He gets told no. The book evolves. He goes into where he's 20, he's 21, he's a sophomore. He's still getting told no, Gets told a couple yeses, but some of the yeses are kind of begrudging yeses. Gets told no. But the thing is every time he was told no, it stung. It hurt. It really was like a kick in the stomach for him. And he would always question, say, gosh, is this worth it? Should I keep going? Should I keep pursuing this? Am I crazy? I'm giving up on this medical school thing. I might be letting my parents down. But in his heart, he held this belief that he was meant to write this book, that he had a mission, that he had something that was his intention, his reason for being there, that he was going to contribute to the world to help other people. And he was committed to that outcome. No, 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 no. And then finally he gets a yes. He gets a yes from Tim Ferriss, who wrote The 4 Hour Work Week and The 4 Hour Body. And then Tim Ferriss, when he was doing the interview, Tim Ferriss was kind of a little put off by his relentless emailing tactics. I guess he was emailing Tim Ferriss and Tim Ferriss's assistant like 3 or 4 times a day for nonstop for like 3 months. And Tim Ferriss gave him some etiquette on how to construct an email, an introductory email, which is actually really helpful. I've taken some notes on that. I'm going to change some of my intro emails out that I send out to people. Next person he finally gets a lot more no's. Next person he finally gets a yes from is Sugar Ray Leonard, who was the former, or is it Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, the boxer? Gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but Sugar Ray. And he was the boxing champ in the 70s, I think in the 80s. Gave him this great speech about how he should never give up. Awesome interview. So the guy's remotivated again. More no's, more no's. He gets into the door of Bill Gates, but then he gets slammed shut because they say, he's not even halfway there. He gets in the door of Steven Spielberg, but he gets it slammed shut. Anyways, he keeps going no matter what, to the point of now, fast forward, he said the book took him 7 years to write because it took 7 years to be able to interview everybody he wanted. It took him 7 years to be able to get a publishing thing. It took him 7 years to bring this dream to fruition. The book is now a bestseller. Because of the book, he's launched into a different business. He's left the medical thing. He's no longer pursuing medical. He's now an author, a speaker, this whole other bit. And the thing is he never gave up. But the message I wanted to share with you all today is twofold. Number one, the power of never giving up. See, most of us, we will say we want something. We want to pursue a dream. We have a goal. We have an outcome we're after. But we want it, and we want it yesterday, and we want it as easy as possible. We're not willing to put some skin in the game. We're not willing to work hard. We're not willing to sacrifice. If you want something and you really, really, really want it, you need to be prepared to go all in on yourself. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts, and do whatever it takes to make that happen. And believe so strongly in your heart, not listen to the fear voices because everybody has that pop up, but believe and trust so strongly in what goes on in here that you're willing to follow it to the end, which he was. The second piece of this is this. As I'm reading this book, I'm thinking, man, so many people throughout this book, the entire time, he's always just one yes away from the next level. And there's so many people that could help him and just say yes. And it got me thinking about the power that all of us have, each and every one of us on here from all over the world. We all have the power to be someone's yes. At some point, at any given moment, there might be someone in our life who needs an introduction, who needs their foot in the door in a new career, who needs the option to pursue a new path. And they might be busting their butt. They might have been rejected. And all it would take is just one yes from you to give them a glimmer of hope, to shine a light down the path of possibility towards a new future for them, and enough to keep pushing them and to keep them going. Which is what I invite you all to do today. Never busy yourself to be so busy that you can't say yes to someone else. Make your time, make it an opportunity for you to say yes, to be someone else's yes. There is so much joy that can be gained for yourself and so much potential that you could deliver to the world by being that yes for someone else. Doesn't mean you have to have all the answers. Doesn't mean you have to know anything. And when I say yes, don't just say yes to say yes. One of the things that everybody who gave this kid feedback as he was going through this journey, they all got that his heart was in the right place. And there was, even though he may not have had everything figured out, he didn't have all the answers, they saw that his heart was in the right place so they could say yes because they knew it was coming from here. So when you decide to say yes to people, don't just say yes to say yes, but say yes because you can tell that their heart's coming from the right place. And say yes, not with the expectation of anything in return, but say yes just for the sheer love and joy of serving another human being. Say yes just for the sheer love and joy of helping somebody else realize their dream. Say yes just for the sheer gift of being a human and being able to see the light go on in someone else's eyes and for them to all of a sudden open up to a possibility that was out there because you decided to believe in them. You, me, and everyone else out in here has that power. We have that potential. We have that capability to deliver to another human being. Say yes. Be someone's yes. I promise that if you make it a habit of doing this, you will not only radically transform the life of someone else, but you will radically impact and add tremendous value to the life of your own life too. Each and every one of us are always just one yes away from the next level. I invite you to be that next level for someone else. And at the same token, if you're in pursuit of that next level for yourself, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Don't be afraid to reach out and ask and let them know what you got going on. And if in your heart, you know that's what you're meant to be doing, that's where you're meant to be, do not let any voice in here, any naysayers or doubters outside of here tell you no. Keep trusting in this and keep pushing forward. And I promise you the payoff will be always, always worth the effort. I hope this is helpful. I got to bounce off right now, but I have a podcast interview I need to get to, and I want to make sure that I get there on time. So really quick recap. If you, it's just some feedback from you, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Pacific time, what time is better for you? I'm going to try to dial that in a regular time. If you have suggestions for what we could call these regular Facebook Live things, I'd love to hear that. Be sure to like and subscribe to this. There should be a button on here somewhere where you can follow the page and you can click subscribe to lives, get notification for lives, and they'll pop up. If you found value in this and you think somebody else would too, be sure to share it with them, tag them in this, whatever you need to do. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. For those of you who are in really hot places, I hope it cools off for a little bit. For those of you who are in really cool places, I hope it gets a little warmer. And wherever you are, whether it's morning, noon, or night, carpe diem, seize the day, seize the moment, make it count, live it like there's nothing beyond it, make it matter. We'll see you next time, everybody. Send lots of love to you all. Bye-bye.